Hello, dreamers. Welcome back to the show. If this is your first time watching or listening, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Hit subscribe on the YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Livin the Dream 506. Share it. Tell your friends about it. All that good stuff. Everything helps. So thanks, at the very least, for just being here. You may know today's guests from their band, the Sheepdogs. But together, these two brothers become the rock duo known as Bros. Please welcome to the show, Ewan and Shamus Currie. So I got to ask right off the bat, Big Daddy Ewan, where's the nickname come from?
I mean, I just wrote it. It's anytime that like I'm on the internet and they're like, "What's your name?" I just like I can't help but like put something ridiculous in. So it's like on my Air Canada profile for like 10 years, I've been the Honorable Ewan Currie, and so people are always like, "Oh, what does that mean?" I'm like, "Are you a judge?" I'm like, "No, I'm a member of parliament." So
some light trolling, I think, is what's going on here.
Nice. Canadian royalty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
So Ewan and Shamus Currie, you guys are bros.
Yeah, we are.
We are.
So you got the new EP coming out?
It's a full length, actually.
Full length, okay. So that's coming out when? July 16th?
That's
July
right.
16th. You got it.
So volume 2, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So safe to assume it's just going to progress numerically?
Yeah, we're like Zeppelin or Chicago, where they just did the numbers. It's like I don't know. When we did the first one, we wanted to sort of like hint at that there would be more to come, and it's great. You don't have to think of an album title, or maybe we'll be like Zeppelin, and like they had on Zeppelin 5 they went Houses of the Holy or whatever. So
yeah.
maybe when we get to the 5th one, we'll change it up.
And
I like the idea of going numerical for a little bit and then like jumping back in, like Bros 5 is like volume 5 again or something. I don't know.
Nice. Yeah, and 4 be real cryptic with it and just kind of have no one know what's going on for a title.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
they could assume.
That's right. So who's the older brother here?
Me.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's here for me.
Is that right? Okay.
So have you guys played music together your entire lives, or like? Because I know, Shamus, you joined late for the Sheepdogs.
Mm-hmm.
So did that just sort of happen, or has it always kind of been you guys have played music together and then finally you started putting some projects together?
Oddly enough, we kind of didn't play music together that much, despite growing up in a musical household. We kind of moved in our own circles a little bit. Ewan had his own band and I had my own band. And I think like the age difference between us is 4 years, which might just be significant enough that we were kind of always hanging out in different cliques. Ewan was at high school before I was, and then he graduated by the time I went there. So we kind of moved in our own circles a little bit when we were younger. But we definitely had a lot of shared musical experiences. I was constantly reading Ewan's record collection when we were growing up. So yeah, definitely a lot of shared experience there.
So with Bros, that Bros came after you had joined the Sheepdogs, correct?
That's right. Yeah, I joined the Sheepdogs in 2012, and we started Bros. The first album came out in 2016, but we started recording in 2014.
Oh, nice. So what led to you joining the Sheepdogs? Like, was that always sort of an option or lingering in the back of your guys' minds, or how did that come about?
Well, we were a 4-piece for a lot of years, and I think we always, like, our albums would always have like keyboard parts on them. Like I played the organ and maybe some piano and stuff, and so we always kind of dug like the idea of having a full-time keyboardist. It just takes a lot of pressure off of, you know, other instruments to have an extra guy. It just sounds really nice, and so I think I kind of floated the idea of Shamus joining us like maybe 2011, 2012, just because we always had these keyboard parts on our record that were just sort of left off the record. But it just kind of worked out. Yeah.
So it's sort of like it was the best option for touring, and then he just became a permanent member for studio.
Well, it's, you know, when you have somebody join your band, especially when you kind of already established, it's really tricky to like fit the the chemistry is important, and like especially in those, like at that time we were touring a lot, like, you know, easily 2/3, 3/4 of the year, and so we needed somebody that could just step in, handle their shit, and not be like, you know, shook by being on the road. And I knew Shamus was a pretty like robust guy that could handle that, but also like wasn't going to get on people's nerves, was going to be able to, you know when to like stay out the way, you know, when egos are clashing, or when, you know, like the road is a weird place. A lot of weird stuff happens. Not everybody can hack it, which is just like the truth. And so I knew, like, you know, my brother would be a great musician and also would just fit in with everybody as well.
Yeah, especially if you're touring as much as you said you were. I mean, like, can you explain, maybe give us a little taste of what it feels like on the road? Like when you say it's not a lot of people can hack it, you hear stories all the time, but like, can you give us a feel for how that really does kind of take its toll?
Well, I think people, you know, it's obviously it's very exciting and it's fun to be on the road, but in a lot of cases you spend all day traveling, whether that's, you know, it's not always on a tour bus or on a plane. It's often in a van. So you're just kind of like stuck in a cramped vehicle for pretty much the whole day. Then you get somewhere, you load in, sound check. You got a few, you know, maybe 90 minutes to run and get something to eat, have a quick shower, and then you got to throw it on a show. By the time you finish, it's late, and you got to get up early and do it all over again. So it's, you know, long days, and a lot of waiting around. And then, okay, now you got to perform right now. You don't have the comforts of home, that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like we're in like Afghanistan or something like that, but it's like, you know, I think people take for granted being home all the time. It's tricky when you're not, you don't have those comforts at home. Your routine is like all over the place because like you're constantly like, okay, where can I get something to eat? I have no idea. I'm in Memphis. What's good? You know, what's a safe area to walk through? All that kind of stuff. It's just, you know, unpredictable.
It's like you're constantly in a new and exciting place, but you never have the energy to go explore it. The energy at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, that must be tough. I mean, visiting all these cities and especially different countries and things like that, and knowing you're so close yet so far from being able to like experience the tourism aspect of these places.
Yeah. No, it's really like so tantalizing, because like especially like in Europe, you're just like in these amazing places and you're like, I don't have time to go look at X, Y, and Z. Like you just see the bars after the show basically, and even then you're going to be tired the next day.
Yeah, bar, hotel room, highway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of what it boils down to.
Now that being said, after this past year and a half, I assume you guys are looking forward to getting back on the road, and I noticed you guys just announced a few dates.
Yeah, but that's with Sheepdogs. You know, so I thought we were kind of talking more about the Bros thing, but
yeah. Are you guys going to be touring with the Bros project?
Not per se. I mean, usually we just sort of like try to do a couple shows and you know, in Toronto, and then last time we did a little tour just because there was a demand for it. But it's really hard because we had to put together like a 9-man band, and it just gets really tough to like transport 9 people out. You know, you're in New Brunswick, is that right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we went out. I don't know if we played in New
We
Brunswick.
did a festival there, Evolve or something. Is that right?
Oh yeah, that's
yeah.
Evolve is in Moncton, New Brunswick now. It used to be in Antigonish, Nova Scotia.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I played it when it was in Antigonish, and then we did it with Bros in Moncton, I guess. Yeah.
Nice. So with the release of the LP, you must be, and also announcing a few Sheepdog shows. What is the plans for like playing this new Bros album? Like, do you have a touring band to go with it?
It's very much the trick with Bros is that Ewan and I, we get together and it's such a studio project. Like we're overdubbing everything. It's sort of the name of the game. And we're just sort of experimenting with the sounds that we can get with no intent of recreating it live, sort of in the back of our minds. We're just like, what kind of sound can we create? What kind of like weird song can we get into? So we're overdubbing stuff. And then at the end of the day, we have these songs that are very difficult to replicate live, which is why we had the 9-piece band when we went on tour last time. So it's sort of a trick when it comes to putting the album out of like, how can we try and, recreate some kind of live performance. So it makes touring a bit more difficult. Go ahead, Ian.
Well, and the other thing is just the pandemic. We haven't been able to get in the same room with a band of 9 guys, so it's been very frustrating, like it's really weird to be promoting a record, but we can't like just do the regular things like put a band together and play shows. It's a lot of Zooms.
Yeah.
So what is the plan? Is there a plan?
Yeah, we'll probably do. Yeah. We're looking at maybe doing like a live stream or, more, I guess, video content, kind of pre-filmed, that kind of thing. But yeah.
Nice.
We would love to just play a show, but it's not that easy anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys try to curate these songs into like an acoustic performance as well? Like I know you're saying you're overdubbing a lot and it's very studio based, but like, do you have acoustic versions of these songs to kind of just play as a duo?
It's funny because it's like such a constant struggle because like radio stations and media outlets want you to do acoustic versions, but like the songs that we're doing with Bros, they're not really lending themselves to like just strumming guitar chords and singing. Like they're very orchestrated. There's lots of like grooves and percussion heavy tracks and like horns and strings. And so it's kind of like, hey, could you just come in and do like an acoustic version of like the Jaws theme? And it's like, like Raiders of the Lost Ark, John Williams. It's really tricky. So we definitely have done some of that stuff, but we're always like fighting against it because it's just like we kind of want the point is to like go full on studio, trickery, but then everything's like, no, do an acoustic version. It's like, yeah, no, I don't want to.
The first single we released was the theme from Bros, which is our sort of like spin on a cop movie theme kind of thing. It's like 8 trombones and like organ and percussion and stuff. So it'd be pretty tricky to like try and replicate that with just an acoustic guitar.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the Bros theme. Like he started talking about recreating the Jaws theme or whatever. So the Bros theme was sort of a parody, you kind of said?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely inspired by like film scores and film music. There's this composer I really like. His name's Lalo Schifrin, who's a South American guy. I think maybe he's Argentinian. I'm not sure, but
yeah,
he did the theme to like Dirty Harry and Bullet and like the original Mission Impossible theme. Lots of kind of like old school cop stuff. But his use of orchestration is amazing. He has lots of percussion, lots of cool electric piano, lots of brass. And it really kind of, as a trombone player, was something I was like immediately drawn to. And Ewan and I, we loved watching those old cop movies, and we'd always be like, this music is amazing. Like, we should try and make something like this. So that's kind of where the theme from Bros idea came from. And then the idea of calling it a theme to a movie that doesn't exist was a stroke of genius.
Of course. Now, are you going to make a movie to go with it? Make the theme first and then make the movie for it?
Well, we got our buddy Rob to make an animated film for the video. We're pretty stoked on how that turned out.
Is that out right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Check it out on YouTube.
Nice. So the Bros theme, that's pretty cool. Do you guys is that kind of where this project may lead you guys? Is more film score type things, or?
Would love to. I mean, no one's exactly knocking on our door for that kind of thing, but it's I think that's what's interesting is it's like we kind of look at music as being very there's a big wide world of it out there. I think coming from like a rock and roll background and Sheepdogs and stuff, everyone thinks of music as like, oh, you write a song, you sit down with your acoustic guitar and you write some words on a pad and you kind of, 3 chords and the truth type of thing. And we're like interested in, with Bros, we're trying to do more of a big, rich, colorful thing and sort of steer into some like more exotic waters. And so like, yeah, old film scores, like even like old Henry Mancini kind of stuff is really cool. Like just, it's very evocative and it's like, you can really like if you go on vacation, like for me, like I want to listen to like some crazy old exotica tiki bar type of music because it just really sets a mood. And that's kind of what we're into. Like we want to set real specific moods with different songs. At the same time, we're also kind of doing like a real kind of like power pop sort of, Hall & Oatesy kind of like fun type of thing. So it's very eclectic and all over the place. Would we do a movie soundtrack? Yeah, I mean, that'd be amazing. Like since we were kids, we loved like Jason and the Argonauts from the 60s, which was Bernard Herrmann, who did like Psycho and like, we always really gravitated towards the music, like if you took away the music from like, Psycho, the shower scene, it's probably not the same or even like Star Wars is like, people love Star Wars and part of the appeal was just that the music was so majestic. It'd be great to create something like that.
Yeah, it'd be cool to find someone to partner with and sort of create the album from the ground up with that in mind. That'd be exciting. Yeah. It'd be fun.
I'll call up Spielberg.
Yes. Spielberg, get at us.
Yeah.
I love the Bros project. You were saying like you like to be a little more exotic. I got some like I know you guys are very classic rock oriented with both projects, and I hear a lot of like Beatles-esque just experimentation, real. You said exotic. I don't know if it's exotic as it is like very uplifting, emotional, and experimental. And I heard kind of tastes of Ween a little bit. I don't know if you guys listen to Ween, but I just, a little bit. I loved it. I loved I was out on the boat before this, it's 40 degrees here. And we were just boating around listening to that volume 1 and some of the new singles. And I got that Ween vibe and it was just really relaxing and really exciting. And it really pumped me up for this interview to talk to you guys about it.
Awesome, man.
I loved it.
Yeah, Ween have that kind of, they had a real variety of stuff that they would do. I think it's just sort of like, it's like you're interested in music of all kinds and you're kind of like, let me see if I can try and do this type of music and let me see if I can do this. And it's like, and like certainly we grew up listening to the Beatles and that's like kind of the top hero, but like that spirit of the 60s is so cool because it was like there were no limitations to what they do. They weren't just like, well, I play guitar and you play drums and we write rock songs. They were like, what if we got an orchestra? What if we did as many tracks as possible and overdubbed? And, they were constantly being crazy. What if we ran our vocals through the Leslie speaker? They were just like so inventive. And so like, that's kind of the spirit that we have when we're in the studio is we try to have no limitations and we just sort of like, I don't know, get crazy. Like there's a song on the record called 2 for Tea, which is like almost like a 1930s like vaudeville type of song that's like old timey, like very silly. Like we're just trying to like have fun, really.
A big sense of the record was just kind of us trying to make each other laugh in the studio. Like who could come up with the silliest, most outrageous song idea, that kind of thing. We try to keep it fun, like put like our sense of humor in it, have it be lighthearted. There's so much kind of dour, serious music out there, and we're kind of trying to have a party. So yeah.
Yeah, well, like he said, no limitations. Then that is the vibe it gives off, and that's how kind of Ween always self-described is just it doesn't have to be limited to a foundation or like a cookie cutter verse chorus, things like that.
Switching
like,
styles, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's nice to have that kind of creative freedom. It's sort of what we're all about.
Yeah, and I guess we're not really writing to have a hit per se. I mean, our first record, Tell Me, did pretty well on radio and stuff, but it was really just like we're making it to have fun. And we're really kind of, it's just sort of a vanity project that we just really love making, very interesting, eclectic music.
I really like that style with no rules and no limitations. Another band that does it for me is Alt J, where like some of their songs just sort of tell a story rather than being a verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, intro, outro, things like that. It's a story, and that I feel that way. And you guys are talking about like Bro's theme being a score and things like that. I like when music creates a picture for me rather than just being a song. It's a film in my head, and I got that with you guys, and I really enjoyed the album, and I'm really stoked to be able to talk to you guys, and it was a real honor.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I like what you said about the painting a picture. Like it's not just through words, it's through the music too. So I'm glad you feel that way. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys with the Sheepdogs are playing Calgary Stampede on July 11th, and Together Again Festival August 20th in Edmonton. So
that's right.
Good luck getting back to your regular routine, and I hopefully see you guys on the East Coast.
Yeah, man. The East Coast, I'm sure, will be happening before soon.
Perfect. Well, get in touch, or I'll get in touch with you guys when you get here, and hopefully we can meet up for a drink or something.
Right on, Chris. Thanks a lot, man.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks for having us, man.
Take care.
Peace.
Hey guys, if you're still here listening and you haven't done so already, you might as well take a minute and follow us on Facebook and Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. All these links can be found at liveinthedream506.com. Thank you for your support, and keep dreaming.